Yeah, I guess I'm back again. Out of my usual haunt because, well, just want to see what a different environment would do for my overall look. I know, shallow as hell, but apparently there are those who have issue with what I use for my backdrop now. I mean, I guess it's okay because people that are taking issue with it are the kind of people that I kind of wish would disappear anyway. So clearly, I am pissing off the right people, but at the same time, I would love to get some more positive reinforcement at some point. But I think getting any kind of good shit out of this life is pretty much out the window for me at this point. I mean, I was still a shit hand from the very beginning, so having my brain wired one way and the body wired the other way, it was like, yeah, it was never gonna work out for me. So, and I finally try to take measures to address the mismatch in wiring. That just brings out these assholes who decide that no, you're not supposed to take any measures. You're supposed to just accept it. You're supposed to not exist the way that you feel that you should exist. Blah 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 blah. Actually, I'm surprised that nobody has come to me with some bullshit out of Leviticus or one of those shit letters that what's his face wrote in the early AD days. Paul with all of his infinite wisdom and his nuanced takes on everything that people all across the religious spheres take as literal gospel truth because, well, he said it, therefore it must be, you can't dispute it because, well, it's in the collection called the Bible. Well, who put that together? Bunch of old men? So, yeah, I hold the Bible with a certain amount of I'm skeptical about it because while the overall theme of redemption and try to be a better person and all that bullshit, I mean that's I'll agree with that. I'll choose to believe it, but there's a lot of those details and a lot of the stories along the way. I mean, they are very it's very likely that a lot of those were edited or altered, selectively omitted, with chapters and books that were probably part of the original scriptures, but got left on the cutting room floor because it didn't fit a certain narrative. But that's not the purpose of doing this recording today because, well, that would be I could go on for hours on that, and yeah, my battery only has so much percentage left to it. So anyway, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just sitting here thinking, was that last video, was it, did I handle things appropriately? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, pulling out the gun, showing it as what will still likely be the instrument of my own demise in the coming year or so. I mean, that's not a knee-jerk reaction. That is something that I've been considering and planning on, you know, as honestly my escape. If and when things turn south for me, because I don't trust people to make the right decisions, especially when it concerns marginalized people. So I know I am in a vast minority of people here, and you know the recent comments that I've gotten, they just tell me exactly what I thought all along, that I don't have support. I really do not have support. People might say that that they're all for trans rights, or for LGBTQ people and the inequality, and they'll maybe throw up a pride flag, or a border on their Facebook profile for the month of June. But when it comes time to actually take some action, or speak out against against these people punching down on us, yeah, you're not gonna hear anything. You're just gonna hear crickets. So it comes down to us, and we don't have the numbers to affect any kind of meaningful change, because it's always mob rule, majority rule, because that's always been the case with humanity. So you on the right, you're gonna get your wish. People like me, I mean, we're going to continue to exist one way or another, but I'm not likely to be among them, because what's the point in continuing to fight when you know that it's not going to yield any results. It's not going to end well for anybody in my situation. So, and I don't have the fortitude. I don't have the endurance to fight and fight and fight and fight for years on end. I mean, I'm at my limit as it is. Even when we still have most of the rights and most of the protections that an average person would. But if I see those rights and protections eroded to the extent that the right wants to in the future, I'm not going to have what it takes to fight back and and affect any kind of meaningful change. So that's where my head's been at. Where it will continue to be at. I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's funny, bordering on hilarious, but a week and a half ago, at the end of Camp Icon, I'm standing there, I'm chatting with Ariel after the final song, and I was telling her about how I was very apprehensive about coming down there, even to the last minute, because the state that they are that they reside in, and the state that Camp Icon is held in, it's very anti-trans in the government and in their policies, and it's staunchly it's very red and in the middle of a bunch of red states. So I was expecting a lot of hostility along the way. I was expecting, I was anticipating trouble, because you got those people on that side that I think people like me shouldn't exist. So, I mean, I didn't go into all that detail with her, but I did explain my concerns about making the drive, and how I was pretty much up until the last minute. I was worried, and and her response, I mean, it kind of hit home with me, because I've never considered myself to be brave, or to be any kind of a role model, or to have any kind of special qualities. But she actually went and claimed that I'm actually braver than she's ever been, in being myself. And I don't know. I mean, I was flattered, but at the same time, am I really? I mean, all I've been doing this whole time is I take some pills in the morning, I take some pills in the evening, and I try to present myself in a way that is in a contrast to what I was 3 years ago. hell, even 2 years ago actually at this point. But meanwhile, you've got Ariel and Sean and the other members past from of Icon for Hire. You know, they were out there, as a band in the beginning. They were writing their songs, they were touring, they were putting themselves out there. They've been staunchly, staunch allies of LGBTQ plus people, since the very beginning. They've been on stage waving the pride flags. They've been outspoken in support of us, and and that's just their statements in public. To say nothing of their songwriting and the way that, especially Rel, with the way that she writes the lyrics and the way she'll sing them and perform, the various songs that she's written, and she is the face of the band. She's the face that you'll see when you first punch up Icon for Hire. And so she's the face, she's the voice of the band. She's the one that will, that basically she'll speak for the both of them. And it's like, okay, you're in your songs, in the interviews, it's you're very open, you're very honest. You put yourself out there night after night on the stage, and through, whether it be through song or through chat, it's, I view that as being braver than anything I've ever done. So when she tells me that it's basically the opposite in her eyes, I'm like, okay, it's cool that you think that way, but is that really, is that really true, do you think? So I don't know. I'm flattered. I really am. But when all is said and done, I don't have the fortitude to continue on like that. So, and when push comes to shove, I'm likely to just crumble because I don't have the endurance to get out there and fight and risk losing everything I've got because of some new policy out there. And I hope that's not too loud. I don't want to trigger copyright strikes or anything, but I don't know. The fact of the matter is, I fight my own battles every day. I know most people do, but when it gets to be too much for me, I'm not gonna just fight back. I'm not gonna push back. I'm eventually, there will come the day where if it's too much for me, I will take whatever instrument I can and turn it against myself to punch my own ticket, because I don't have what it takes. I really don't have what it takes when all the chips are down, when everything's on the line. I can't. I really can't continue on like that. So and I know that'll make people on the right very happy to hear that it is my intent when things reach the breaking point that it will break me and will cause me to remove myself from this pool, from this cesspool of humanity that we call the United States and the ranks of the living. So look forward to that when the day comes. So, you want to talk about that 40% statistic? Well, it is all your fault. If you would just let me live my life, not spend all your free time, all your energy trying to make my life more miserable. And others like me, We suffer because you hate. And that's long and short of it. You hate that which you don't understand. And rather than try to understand and to accept that which you don't understand, you just decide to take the easy way and legislate away people via hate. That's all you know how to do. So someday, when I'm gone, I hope the world will be a better place. But well, until then, I'll watch the decay, and I will contemplate and consider the point in time when I'm shaking. Yeah. Yeah, the only reason I'm still here is because my cowardice has deferred me more often than not. So someday I'll be able to overcome that. So I look forward to that day.